I will open the City Commission meeting for Thursday, November 21st at 6 p.m. at the Water and Sewer Services Complex. Ms. Paul?
Yes, first is our invocation, and then the pledge to the flag.
Reverend Nathan Cachiaras is here from Grandview Christian Church. He's going to lead us in the invocation, if you'll stay standing for the pledge.
Gracious God, you are the creator and sustainer of all. To you I give thanks for the rising and the setting of the sun and the turning of the seasons and the last of the golden ginkgo leaves. Despite all of our many limitations, I ask that you would grant insight and clarity as we offer our best in the efforts of government this evening. I ask that our deliberations and our concerns would reflect what we know of your concern for all of creation. Just as you have concern for your people to be just and to care for all people and for the poor and for the land, I ask that our community too would discern well how to be faithful to the goodness of your creation and your regard for all people. I ask especially for the officials and the leaders present here to be wise and discerning and motivated by care and love for their neighbors and for this community. For our community here in Johnson City and in Tennessee and in the United States, I ask for your guidance and your wisdom and your provision. I offer this time and this meeting to you. Help us. In Christ's name, amen.
Amen. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Mayor, your first order of business is to consider approval of the minutes for the regularly scheduled City Commission meeting held on Thursday, November 7th.
Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Have a motion and a second. Any discussion? Ms. Laos?
Commissioner Brock?
Yes.
Commissioner Hunter?
Yes.
Vice Mayor Murphy?
Yes.
Mayor Fowler?
Yes.
Mayor, we have no one signed up for public comment on this agenda. The next item of business is under proclamations, resolutions, and presentations. Item 5.1 is to pardon the turkey and the turkey trot presentation. So I think we have a turkey present.
I found this turkey running around. It says she's getting ready for turkey trot, something like that. We can either take her to jail or we can pardon her. What do you think?
We need her at the turkey trot. Him. This is Trotter, sorry. So, Mayor, I really request you pardon.
All right. So due to the contributions that this fine feathered...
There you go.
Due to the contributions that this fine feathered bird has made for the health and wellness of our citizens and leading the turkey trot, one of the most beloved community events, and in the spirit of this wonderful season of Thanksgiving, I hereby decree and grant a full mayoral pardon to Trotter the turkey. May he live a full and blessed life at the helm of many events for years to come, in witness whereof I have hereunto set my hand and caused the official seal of the city of Johnson City, Tennessee to be affixed this 21st day of November 2024. Congratulations.
So,
Say a few words.
Trotter doesn't say a whole lot.
Say a few words.
So we wanted to let y'all know that the turkey trot is Thanksgiving morning, 8:30. And we are on a registration trend rate to be the largest ever. Is that right, Ms. Hubbs? Yeah, so we're really pushing 5,000 registered runners. It's a great morning. It's a great way to start your Thanksgiving. And this year particularly, I just want to tell you, our theme is We Rise When We Help Each Other. And our special guests at the Turkey Trot are the students from South Central's elementary school down in Chuckey. These are children that have gone through a lot of stuff, and they just need some relief and stress relaxation and all that kind of stuff. We did our kickoff event down there, and it was just wonderful. They all got T-shirts, and they're going to be our guests. And Trotter, at this time, like I said, he doesn't say much, but when he does, it's important. He said, I need to give all those kids a hug. And so this is what this shirt looks like, is Trotter giving hugs, and it was just really sweet as can be. So be there. The more people we have registered, the more we can give back to the community down there. That we're going to be giving the proceeds to the Turkey Trot to the children of that area. And then I think I can say for Keisha Shown back here, the Lamar Choir, is that right? Those students are going to come up and be the choir for the Christmas tree lighting on Saturday night. So anyway, these kids, they're COVID kids and they're disaster kids. So we need to love them. We need to put our arms around them and just really give them hugs and give them some good things to do. So be there, and it's the place to be on Thanksgiving morning. Mayor, thank you.
Thank you. Commissioners, at this time, I would like to ask our finance director to come and present the unaudited financial statements. And I would ask Stephanie Laos, our finance director, to provide that presentation. Thank you, Stephanie.
It's a really hard act to follow. I don't have anything as exciting as a turkey. Okay, good evening, Mayor, Vice Mayor, Commissioners, Kathy. I'm Stephanie Laos, I'm the Finance Director, and I'm going to be giving you a financial statement update for the unaudited financials as of September 30th, 2024. So first, we're going to take a look at a high-level overview of the major funds of the city. The major funds of the city are our general fund, our Freedom Hall Fund, and then we have 4 enterprise funds, our water and sewer, regional solid waste, city solid waste, and stormwater. This excludes every other fund that we have in the city that are non-major. That excludes all capital projects, special revenue, our insurance fund. So this is just these 5-6 funds that we're presenting. As you can see here, the general fund and Freedom Hall are operating at a deficit at the current time. That we'll go into a little more detail of that. All 4 of our enterprise funds are operating with surpluses, and they're right on trend with what we would expect at this time of year. So we'll get into a little more detail for the general fund. And if you have any questions as I'm going through, please interrupt and I'll answer as best I can. So the general fund revenue, as of September 30th, we're about a quarter of the way through the year. So we would expect our revenues and our expenses to be around 25% of the total annual budget, because we budget on an annual basis, not on a monthly basis. You'll notice that property taxes look really light there in this chart. Property taxes are not assessed until October 1st, and so the only collections we have in property taxes right now are for delinquent taxes or penalties and interest. So they are very light. We'll expect that to start picking up here in the next month or so. We've already started to see some pickup in revenue coming in. Other local taxes, you'll see that looks a little light as well, a little less than 25%. That consists of a whole lot of locally assessed taxes. It's our business licenses, our alcohol privilege tax, our mobile food vendor permits, along with our sales tax and things like that. So some of these are regular, we get them monthly. Some of them are more cyclical, and they only come at a certain time of the year. They're seasonal. So in that local tax number, we have some seasonal revenues that haven't started hitting yet. For instance, mobile food vendor permits are not due until February, so we haven't seen any of that revenue yet. Alcohol privilege tax is due in December, so we haven't seen any of that either. And business licenses are not due until May, so that's a big set off to the next months. All the other revenues for the year are at or near the 25% of total budget where we would expect them to be. Licenses and permits, I'm not sure what's going on there, but they're at 41% of their total annual budget already in September. So I would expect to see that, them continue to look really good. So just wanted to, because I know that the numbers look really scary because of how little revenue we have in the property taxes. I wanted to show these two pie charts to really kind of drive home that indication that these are going to come in later. On the left-hand side is the pie chart that shows our budgeted revenues and what percentage of our total revenue those are budgeted for. And you see property taxes is 37.2% and other local taxes is 42.9%, which only leaves the rest of the revenue to be about 20% of our total revenue. On the right, you'll see where we're at quarter to date for September, and you'll see our property taxes are at 0.7% of total revenue. And our local taxes have jumped up to 60%. Because we haven't gotten to collect those property taxes. I just wanted to show that a little more graphical to be able to tell. The property tax is what we do expect to bring in. Historically, we collect about 98% of our assessed taxes in the first year of the assessment. So that means that the taxes that came out and became due October 1st, before the end of the fiscal year in June, we will collect around 98% of those if we continue with the average. That's a really good collection rate for a first year, and that means we'll bring in about $42.1 million in property tax revenue out of about $43 million that we were budgeted. We did change the dates this year to where our delinquency date has historically been on January 1st, so everything was due by December 31st. This year we moved that to February 28th. And so we do expect those revenues to come in a little bit later than what they have historically. General fund expenditures, quarter to date, we're at $33.6 million. Get to the right thing here. So most of our departments are at or below their 25% threshold where we would expect them to be for that the first 3 months of the year, that quarter. Really 27.6% of total expenditures have been spent in the general fund. That includes, there's two areas that are over that 25%, but those make sense. One is transfers. We transfer out any capital projects that we're going to fund with general fund balance. We transfer that out at the beginning of the year. So that's $5.4 million, 100% of that budget has already been shown as expenses this year. The other is miscellaneous appropriations, which we had the tapestry project, which was budgeted in FY24. Two of the payments went over into 25. They're not budgeted. They'll be done in the mid-year appropriations. If everybody else continues the trends that they have right now, I expect all the other departments will be under or at budget by the end of the year. So we'll take a quick look at water and sewer. Water and sewer, their revenue is slightly ahead of that 25%. They're at 27.1. Water tap fees are at 11.8% of total budget, so I'm not sure what's going on there, and I'm doing a little investigating because sewer tap fees are at 53.6. So we've got a lot of sewer tap, but not a lot of water tap, so I'll be looking into that. Water and sewer sales are at 28 and 26% respectively of their total budget. Expenses, excluding depreciation, is right below the 25%, so we're right on target with where we would expect. And other income is under budget right now, but that's because of debt payment timing. So overall, the change in net position is ahead of the budget by $400,000 from what we expected. The other enterprise funds here, you'll see they're all three showing surpluses for the year, and I expect them to continue. This is right on trend with where they end up being on most years. And the last major fund is Freedom Hall. Freedom Hall right now shows excess expenditures and revenue of about $58,000. All the revenues are close to that 25% of budget except for ticket sales. And when we talked about that, we've had fewer shows this year, so far this year, and we expect that is going to continue to be under budget at least for this second quarter because of the disaster and so many shows being canceled. So we anticipate that shortfall to continue into the second quarter, but there's really big stuff to come in the spring, as you know. We've got the Big South tournament. Those tickets go on sale at the beginning of December. So I expect December, we'll see a big uptick in ticket sales for Freedom Hall. Their expenditures are right on budget with 25%. Their year-to-date fund balance, you'll see, is negative. We're not allowed to show a negative fund balance at the end of the year. We budget for the general fund to put money into Freedom Hall to make up that difference, but we don't do that until the end of the year. We wait until the end of the year and see what they're gonna need, and then we do that. So we won't do that. This year it was budgeted at $186,000, and we haven't done any of it yet, so. That overall, everything is looking really good. We're on track to perform the way that I would expect us to, that we historically do. You'll notice I didn't put anything in about fund balance, and that is because of the revenues being so low in the first quarter. It artificially deflates our fund balance, and I did not want to show that and cause any panic.
We probably should see some overperformance of our lodging tax, because we've had a lot of folks coming in from outside the area who've come in to help with the disaster that are staying here in Johnson City.
Absolutely, and those generally run about a month and a half to 2 months behind. So I would expect to see, once we start collecting that that September and the October numbers, we'll see some big uptick in that as well, I believe. I figure that, and probably some sales tax as well.
Okay. Thank you.
Any questions?
Yes, thank you.
very much.
I was going to ask, you mentioned the change in the due date for property taxes. We also changed where people can make periodic payments, but
Yes.
when will that start, and when would a citizen need to start making those payments?
So we started accepting payments for this year's property taxes on October 1st.
Okay.
That's when they become due. You can make a payment at any time. You can make one payment per month of $50 or more. We don't accept a less than that because of the record keeping. So you could come in and make a payment every month between now and February and pay off your taxes in a smaller portion, smaller increments.
Do we have an auto draft opportunity with that as well?
We do not have an auto draft right now. The only auto drafts we do are on our water and sewer bills. It is something that I would like to get into working in the next year or two.
Okay, great.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Commission, your next order of business is consideration of the consent agenda.
I'll start with you. Do you have anything to pull, Vice Mayor? No, sir. Anything?
I'm good.
Well, do I have a motion then?
Move approval.
Have a motion, do I have a second?
Second.
A motion and a second. Any further discussion? Ms. Laos?
Commissioner Brock?
Yes.
Commissioner Hunter?
Yes.
Vice Mayor Murphy?
Yes.
Mayor Fowler?
Yes.
Commissioners, your next order of business is consideration of ordinance 4903-24. This is the first reading. It's an ordinance providing for the conveyance of 10 parcels of real property owned by the city of Johnson City, located in the 5th Civil District of Unicoi County, Tennessee, to Charles and Jessica Bird, Stacy Collins, Justin and Jamie Black, Richard and Sandra Lambert, Charles Hollifield, Kevin Walker, Daryl and Sandra Fitz, David Frazier, James Woodward. This property is the entirety of the former Buffalo Valley Golf Course, comprised of approximately 124 acres.
Thank you, Ms. Ball. Mayor, Vice Mayor, Commissioners, I'm Steve Willis, Assistant City Manager. As City Manager Ball pointed out, we have an offer on the old Buffalo Valley Golf Course property in Unicoi County. We listed the property for sale in April, and we had a realtor, Miss Lena Falls, who's actually here with us in the audience tonight, that has been working with a lot of the landowners that own property that adjoin the former golf course. And that's the group that's made up of the list that Ms. Ball read to you. This will be the entirety of the golf course, all 124 acres. Initially, we only listed 94 acres because we had held some properties back for the potential stream bank project, but we received offers that would encompass the entire golf course. So we feel as though that is the best path forward for us as a city, and certainly for those residents around the course, makes them very happy to be able to have these properties. All of the parcels are greater than 5 acres. The two that aren't, we will be appearing before the Town of Unicoi Planning Commission on December 2nd to receive their approval on those subdivision plats, if you will. I have already met with Corey Haggard with the First Tennessee Development District, who represents Unicoi for planning matters, and have shared the plan with him, and he sees no issue with that. So we would recommend your approval here tonight on first reading.
Right. Any discussion?
First of all, Mr. Willis, thank you for all the work that you and other staff have done on this project for a number of years, right?
Yes.
I couldn't be happier with the result of this. It's a beautiful piece of property out there, and I know we have been personally very careful about, what to do with it, because it is kind of in the middle of a beautiful residential area, and there were issues of, sewer and all that kind of stuff that was out there. So I think it's just a great way to close a chapter, and to, sounds like some really nice pieces of land being added to the landowner's property, that will be really nice. So I fully support it. And I'll make a motion to approve.
Second.
Have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? All right, Ms. Laos.
Commissioner Brock?
Yes.
Commissioner Hunter?
Yes.
Vice Mayor Murphy?
Yes.
Mayor Fowler?
Yes.
The next item for consideration are items under third reading. And Mayor, if it's okay with you, I will read both of these items. They require two separate votes, but both of them relate to the Burlington Mills property. Item 8.1 is ordinance 4900-24. This is the third and final reading. It's an ordinance to amend the zoning map of the city of Johnson City, Tennessee by changing from R6 district, I2 district, R3 district, B4 district to B3 district for property located on West Walnut Street. And 8.2 is ordinance 4901-24. Again, this is the third and final reading for an ordinance to amend the zoning map of the city of Johnson City, Tennessee by changing from R6 district to B3 district for property located at 2424 West Walnut Street.
Thank you, Ms. Bull. Good evening, Mr. Mayor, Vice Mayor, and Commissioners. I'm Bryce McNamer, planner with the Development Services Department. This is the third and final reading for both of these requests. There have been no changes.
All right, I guess we'll start with 8.1. Do I have a motion?
Move approval.
Second.
Have a motion and a second. Any discussion? Ms. Laos.
Commissioner Brock?
Yes.
Commissioner Hunter?
Yes.
Vice Mayor Murphy?
Yes.
Mayor Fowler?
Yes. 8.2.
Move approval.
Second.
Have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? Ms. Laos.
Commissioner Brock?
Yes.
Commissioner Hunter?
Yes.
Vice Mayor Murphy?
Yes.
Mayor Fowler?
Yes.
Commissioners, we have no items under other. Under the city manager's report, I would ask Lindsay Jones to come up and talk about Candyland Christmas and what's coming up over the holidays.
Good evening, everyone. I'm going to pull this down. Hopefully it doesn't scream at me again. We are really excited to kick off Candyland Christmas for yet another year in downtown Johnson City. We are expanding this year, so we now have 180 trees, and they're going to stretch within the commercial downtown district. So you'll see a few trees on Main Street, Majestic Park, and in the Buffalo Street green space, which is on the corner of Red Meze. So it's going to be even more, beautiful this season to see it right in our downtown district as well. Our merchants are really excited to have it expand up that way. So our green tree lighting is on November 30th at 6:30 p.m. We are also adding a couple food trucks this year. We'll have some dessert vendors up on Millard Street, which has been a request for several years from our community as well. We have churches come and sing free Christmas carols and give out free hot chocolate, but we're going to have a lot of tasty treats this year too. Right, and I believe JT is going to queue up a wonderful video for us that is airing. Jenny, you may know more about this, but I know it's going to be on television as well as airing at the Martin Center.
I don't know about the Martin Center, but the mayor and I saw it yesterday. The CVB produced it, and a lot of it was for social media, but it needs to be in Martin. Like, Asheville would be a great place to show it to. get people to come over here?
I believe the first time it's going to air is on November 30th as well at ETSU Martin Center.
Oh, okay.
When 49 Winchester does their hurricane relief concert.
I've got you, okay,
Yeah.
I didn't, you know more than I
A lot of people
do.
will see it that
But I did see it, and it was so beautiful, I just wanted to play it here tonight, yeah,
And did you have something to do with this video, JT?
yes.
Yes, he did.
This holiday season, experience the magic of Candyland Christmas. Stroll through Candy Cane Lane, explore the whimsical gumdrop forest, and discover the charm of Cupcake Commons. With over 1 million twinkling lights and 180 festive trees, this is one sweet community tradition. Join us in downtown Johnson City and make your holidays unforgettable.
So Christmas in downtown is obviously very magical, but it's really nice to see this video bring it all to life for others outside of our community to see too.
And to answer your question, Mayor, the CBB actually put this ad together with Creative Energy. However, they didn't have the footage, and our staff did, so that all was shot by Nicholas Harrison.
Very good, thank you.
We also got word that, and I don't remember the national media outlet, but it's a big one, is sending someone in to cover Christmas in Johnson City.
Yeah, we'll have another blogger in town, I believe, for a 2-night stay, experiencing our downtown district as well as trees, and hopefully we see a nice article come through with it.
Yeah.
The trees will be up until January 5th this year. Another fun thing that we're doing is we're going to have the junior council, which you all have seen here, vote on their favorite tree as well. So we'll have People's Choice and the junior council pick.
Last question, we have 180 trees, how many could we have?
Well, I've already identified a lot of additional spots. Andy Best, just get ready for that request next year, especially now that we're adding some power resources.
But what was the waiting list to get one?
Well, I don't know, we didn't do an actual waiting list this year, but I can say that all 180 trees sold out in under 4 minutes this year, which is absolutely insane. I remember the first year we did it, we had, 60 trees in just Founders Park, and we have the request each year to continue growing. So it's pretty exciting to see.
Good, thank you.
Thank
Very
you.
good, thank you. Anything else?
That's all I have, Mayor.
All right, John, have anything to add?
Nothing to add.
All right, Jamie?
Well, Thanksgiving's coming up, I hope everybody can have some good turkey, just not ours, and spend time with your families. It's been a tough year, I think, for a lot of people. So let's go home, hold hands, hug each other, and enjoy the Thanksgiving season.
Aaron?
No, sir.
I don't have anything else tonight, but thank y'all, and have a happy Thanksgiving.